Welcome to Gold Rush for metal detectors.
This is the Garrett ACE 300, a very economical detector with powerful features to help you find more coins, jewelry, and relics. The ACE 300 includes digital target ID with a large 0 to 99 scale for more target information, an 8 kHz frequency for improved sensitivity on low and medium conductivity targets like lead and gold, a new 7 by 10 inch concentric search coil offering excellent coverage and depth, an adjustable frequency to help eliminate electrical interference or other detectors in competition hunts, cam locks for increased stem stability, and a sharp, responsive pulse width modulation audio. The ACE 300 includes 3 free accessories: Garrett volume control headphones, an environmental cover-up to protect the control box from rain, dust, and mud, and a coil cover to protect your search coil from scratches and chips during use. Assembly of your new ACE detector is very simple. Loosen the lower cam lock and extend the lower stem. Insert the mounting washers. Connect the search coil to the stem and hand tighten the wing nut. Loosen the upper cam lock. Insert the S-stem with the control housing. Adjust the lower stem to a comfortable height and hand tighten the cam locks. Wrap the coil cable snugly around the stem with the first turn over the stem. Insert the coil connector into the control housing connector and hand tighten. The arm cuff can be adjusted by removing the screw on the bottom and mounting the 2-piece cuff to the other hole. To power on the detector, simply press the power button. To power off, press it again. To restore your detector to factory settings, simply press and hold the power button for about 5 seconds. Once you've heard that double beep, it's going to reset itself to the coins mode, which is the factory default setting. The ACE 300 also includes this battery level indicator. When it's down to only 1 bar remaining, it's time to change your battery soon. Your Garrett ACE 300 is always going to indicate all targets that it encounters out in the field, so it's important that you understand target ID. Let's take a look at that for a minute. The ACE 300's target ID includes this legend at the top. Ferrous or iron items are going to indicate more toward the left side of the scale. Non-ferrous or more conductive items are going to indicate more toward the right side of your target ID scale. And you can see here that US coins are clearly identified. This lower scale you see down here indicates that all pixels are switched on, everything is active, nothing has been rejected. Okay, I've got some targets on the ground here, so we can talk about target ID some more. You're going to get a target ID cursor along the top row whenever an item is encountered. If it's something that's accepted, you're also going to get audio. If it's something that's rejected, like this iron nail, there's no audio, but you still get the cursor at the top. And over here I've got another coin. I've got the audio, I've got the cursor indicating it might be a nickel, and your digital target ID, which is a more precise reading that corresponds with what's up top. You'll also notice to the right side, 2-inch depth markers. If this coin was buried, it's indicating it would be about 4 inches deep. So you've got the depth, you've got a 2-digit digital target ID at the bottom, and you've got your audio because it's accepted, and you got your cursor at the top. One thing to note on the depth indication, items that are very small much smaller than a coin may actually be sitting shallower than what they indicate. The other way around, items that are very large, much larger than a coin, may actually be sitting deeper than what they show. So keep in mind, this is based on coin-sized objects. Also, for your digital target ID, it's important to note, keep your target centered. Keep the coil very level, keep your swing very even and flat above the target, and you're going to get a more consistent and more precise target ID. The ACE 300 makes 3 distinctive audio tones based on a metal's conductivity. So I've got some targets on the ground here. What we'll do is we'll come in and go over them so you can hear the different tones, but I've got a piece of iron, I've got a nickel, and I've got a quarter, so you should get low, medium, and high tones. Let's take a listen here. So our first target, the piece of iron, we hear the low tone. The low tone is produced with anything with a digital target ID reading between 0 and 32. A mid-tone is going to be produced for anything with a reading between 33 and 75 on the digital target ID. And finally, any target ID at 75 or higher is going to be a high tone like that. So we've got the high tone or bell tone, the mid-tone, and the low tone. Now let's take a look at the different discrimination patterns and other features of the ACE 300. Use the mode plus or minus buttons to select between 4 preset discrim patterns, or create your own custom pattern. In zero disc, nothing is notched. All 12 pixels are active. Use this mode when a target signal is inconsistent or when you don't know exactly what type of metal you're looking for. Jewelry mode ignores most iron trash but finds rings, watches, bracelets, and other types of jewelry. Custom saves your own discrimination pattern. So if I change it up and I turn the detector off and turn it back on again, it's going to remember my pattern. Relics mode eliminates most small iron, but it keeps lead, brass, bronze, and other lower conductors in play. Coins mode is designed to find all US coins and eliminate common trash like foil, iron, and pull tabs. Be aware that some small jewelry that reads the same as foil could be ignored with this pattern. With notch discrimination, there's 2 ways I can get rid of a target I don't want to dig. For demonstration purposes, I've got this pull tab here. What I'll do is I'll put it on the ground, and then we'll go over this and I'll show you 2 different ways to notch that item out and get rid of it. So here's our pull tab, our trash target on the ground. If I've been at the beach or somewhere digging these all day long, I can just come in and move the cursor left or right with the plus or minus discrim buttons, and then use the elim button down here to notch it out. So I've taken out that segment. So next time I hit that pop top of the same size, it's silent. I see the target ID cursor at the top and I see the digital target ID, but I'm not hearing it. I've gotten rid of that. So I'll bring that notch back into play, and let's move the cursor over so it's somewhere else. It's not on that target. And I've been hunting, I'm going along in the park. Here's the other simple way to get rid of a trash target that you frequently dig. I've hit a bunch of these pull tabs. Once I go over it again and I see that same number, and while it's still highlighted, I can simply just hit the elim button and knock out that notch, take out that pixel. So when I go back over it, it's silent. I see the cursor, but it's silent. So 2 different ways there to notch out a trash target. There are 4 minor frequency adjustments that you can use in order to minimize interference caused by electrical sources or by other metal detectors. To switch frequencies, hold down the elim button and change the setting with the discrim plus or minus buttons. There are also 8 levels of sensitivity. Increase sensitivity when you're searching for a very small item or a very deep item. Decrease your sensitivity level when the detector is behaving erratically due to excessive metal trash or highly mineralized grounds. Your ACE detector includes an electronic pinpointing function. Accurate pinpointing is very important because it allows you to recover targets faster, to dig a smaller recovery hole, and to get on back to your business of finding more stuff that much quicker. So what we'll do here is I've got a coin and we'll just do a demonstration. I'm going to put this in the ground. I've already dug a hole here. So I'll put this coin a few inches in the ground here and I'll bury it back up. Get that out of the way. And I'll smooth out the dirt, push it back over it. And then I've got this little blue plastic chip. I'm going to put this over the top of where the target is just for demonstration purposes so you can better see how the pinpointing is working. So let's drop that in there. Okay, we've got our target. We planted in the ground here. But let's just imagine that you're out searching and you hit a good target and you want to pinpoint it. To use your electronic pinpoint, what you want to do is step to the side of the target so you don't accidentally tune it out. And then press and hold down the pinpoint button. You'll see the letters PP for pinpoint come up. And then go back over that suspected target area. Watch the bars at the top and listen to the audio. When you get the loudest signal, you're right over it. And then to pinpoint it better, push back and forth, kind of X marks the spot until you got the most bars and the strongest audio, and you're pinpointed right on top of the target. Simple as that. To better understand your ACE 300, it's recommended that you do some bench tests. So what we're going to do here is I have it in 0 disk mode, so there's no pixels discriminated. You want to go to a quiet place where there's no electrical interference. You want to make sure your coil is not near any metal that's going to affect it. But I've got a variety of targets here. Let's listen to the different sounds, the different tones, and we'll also look at some of the numbers here. Start with some low items. Here's an iron washer. For the most part, lower numbers, low tone. Here's an iron square nail. Low numbers, but notice as I change the direction to the coil, the numbers go all over the place. That's the effect iron can have based on which way it's going across the coil. So listen and learn from things like that you test. Here's a piece of aluminum foil that you'd find in a park like this all the time. High 30s, more of a mid-tone. Here's a pull tab. Again, you find these all over the place in the park. That jumps up into the 60s, 62. Little gold ring. That's a mid-tone in the 40s, not too far from where that foil was. And I've got a variety of coins here. Let's go through a few of these. Here's an old nickel. 46, mid-tone. Old wheat penny. 84, you hear that high tone sound. Old silver dime. 85, just a little bit difference in the numbers there. Old silver quarter, 89. Big dollar coin, almost to the end of the scale there, very end, 99. So a variety of tones going on there, but you noticed some differences as you changed orientations of some of the targets. Once you've done some air testing, make some notes on that. Then it's also good to do some dirt tests. Make yourself a little test plot, clean out any metal that's in that area, and then bury some of your targets. Scan over them, then you can turn a coin on edge or turn one of your other targets on edge and see that it might change the readings or change the numbers there. Bottom line is, take some time with your ACE 300, do some air tests, do some dirt tests and a test plot, and learn a little bit more about the target ID and the sounds and the numbers that you're seeing here, and you'll be that much better when you get in the field. Here's a few search tips to use with your ACE 300. First, keep the coil close to the soil at all times and swing it very level for the best results. Walk slowly in a straight line, swinging the search coil side to side at a rate of about 2 to 5 feet per second. Overlap the coil by half its length over each search area. When your battery level indicator shows 1 bar remaining, it's time to change batteries. Nickel metal hydride rechargeable batteries can be used, but they may have shorter life per charge than standard alkaline batteries. 1.5 volt lithium batteries can also be used, but 3.7 volt lithium batteries will damage the detector and should not be used. Access the batteries by sliding the cover off the control housing. Remove the batteries when the detector will be stored more than 30 days. Avoid extreme temperatures, such as storing detectors in car trunks during the summer or in sub-freezing weather. Periodically disassemble your detector and clean the stems, control housing, and search coil with a damp cloth. This environmental cover-up helps protect your control housing electronics from dust, mud, and rain. Protect your search coil from scratches and chips by installing a Garrett coil cover. Expand your search options with one of these ACE series accessory search coils. This small Super Sniper coil and this 5x8 double D coil are ideal for searching in tight areas and in separating numerous adjacent targets in trashier hunt sites. Larger concentric search coils provide the greatest detection depth and the largest possible detection fields. The Garrett Pro Pointer is highly recommended for all detectorists to speed their recovery of detected targets, to dig smaller recovery holes, and to identify multiple targets in close proximity. The Pro Pointer AT can even be used underwater to a maximum 10-foot depth. To learn more about your new ACE detector and to see the latest Garrett accessories, be sure to visit garrett.com.
For inquiries and more information, please visit our showroom in Dubai or contact the sales and support department on the following channels.